Well, I just found out can't own chickens. Who knew? I'm gonna kind of get into that in a little bit, but I want to kind of do a this or that video. Got a lot on my mind. I've been thinking all day about how to make a video, about what topic I wanted to talk about, but I got like 20 topics I want to talk about. And these videos used to do pretty good, then all of a sudden they weren't. So I did this or that videos all the time. Well, first of all, I apologize for the wind noise. I do have my lapel mic with the wind guard on it, but it doesn't always work. The wind is coming from the north, so it's gonna get cold soon. The chickens, I mean, I have wintertime chickens, and they're in the coop today, so I don't even know what their problem is. I kind of maybe know what their problem is. It rained the other day, so it's a little wet outside, so maybe the wet ground and the cold is just a little too much for their claws. Somebody asked me the other day, and I didn't really get into specifics, but we're getting about 6 to 13 eggs a day. I would say a good day, we're happy with 7 eggs, but occasionally we get 13. Now we got 17 chickens, one of them's a rooster, so that's 16 hens. This spring, we're gonna get leghorns. We've been trying to figure out what we want to do with chickens. Meat birds, egg birds, and so we've tried several different things. And we've decided that eggs is the thing we want to focus on. If the world goes to, you know what, all we have to eat is something, whatever that is, we think eggs give us the biggest bang for our buck. Now, right now, we eat every egg that is produced. We don't store, everything's being eaten. Right now, we eat lunch for eggs, and about every third day, we eat lunch and supper with eggs. We would like to be able to eat lunch and supper every day with eggs. Now, I know some people say, I can't do that. Once you become a carnivore, you get off the carbohydrates and the junk and the garbage that they feed us, and you get off the addiction of food. Sorry about my eye watering. The cold air is making my eye water. Then food just becomes something like oxygen. Be like saying, oh, I can't breathe that air today, I'm gonna have to go over there. It's just the same thing. Now, I know I can't convince you of that, but to me, eggs are a great meal. And put some salt on it, maybe some cheese, and they're fine. But we decided that's what we're going to focus on. We want eggs, and we're going to kind of get away from the meat bird. The Brahmas will produce good-sized meat, but I don't know. I think the eggs are more important. So leghorns are supposed to be one of the top producers of eggs. Now, they're not very friendly, but we don't need friendly chickens. We need eggs. So another thing I want to talk about is all this fear-mongering going on. I've said in other videos, there's just no reason to be afraid. Every video that I've watched today, every video, has tried to make me afraid. This happens a lot. They all of a sudden get into these trends of, okay, everything's just going to go to crazy. Right now, there's a big meeting going on in one of these countries with all the mega billionaires, and they're talking about how they're going to control our lives. And so every time one of these meetings happens, it's like, oh no, what's going to happen now? I can tell you what's going to happen. Nothing. I mean, they might screw some things up and, you know, a lot to fix it, but everything always seems to work its way back into perfection or normalcy, I would say. Remember, the pendulum swings back and forth. And right now, I would say things are starting to swing back to where they're supposed to be, the way I like them, I should say. There's this one video I watched. He started out with the video, I want to dispel some myths that are going on in the news. And he's talking about the news and how they're trying to scare you because he doesn't like all this fear-mongering that's going on. He started explaining things like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And then at the end of the video, he made me more scared than I was with the media. He's talking about the banks are going to shut down this weekend. Guaranteed. You're not going to have any money, so get all your money out now. Don't wait until Monday. Do it now. This is Thursday. If you don't get it out, you're not going to have any money. Go buy gold. I'm of the mindset that I don't need my money. I know that's crazy, but I don't. If the banks shut down and we go in that kind of a recession, first of all, I think there's federal funding and insurance and all that, but whatever. You know, with the last depression, everybody ran on the banks. Well, the FDIC, I think insurance, That's supposed to protect us, Nick. That's the only way they can sell their videos. It's the only way the media sell their junk is by keeping us afraid. And boy, I tell you, people are afraid. I would imagine the pandemic made us afraid. Everybody wants to be afraid. And I can't seem to sell videos when I say, hey, it's not that bad. Oh, yes, it is. We need this president back in office. That's all I ever hear in the comment section. When I say, don't be afraid. Oh, yes, it's terrible. The end of the world is here. We've had worse. I know you weren't alive, but we had the Great Depression. So that was pretty bad. Just give me some perspective. I mean, heck, we've been in a civil war. Oh, there's a civil war coming. I can guarantee it. It's not going to be the civil war that we had back in the 1800s. It's going to be more of a cultural war. There's no reason to be afraid of everything. When I say that I live off grid, and I don't care if the bank shut down, I really don't care. I can take care of myself pretty good. I'm pretty sure of that. I would like to have had more chickens. We had 9 chickens get killed by a dog. I'm pretty upset about that. Still yet. I'm still pretty upset about that. But with the 17 we got, we'll be all right. And we got enough food that we could incubate more eggs. We did that last spring. I showed you all that. So I feel like we're in pretty good shape. And I've tried to talk to you about this. The thing is I don't see people actually, I read other people's comment section and they're all talking about, yeah, I've taken your advice and I'm doing this. I don't get a lot of that. I know it's difficult to tell you to eat a carnivorous diet, but if you want to feel better, it's the way to go. Not only is it the way to go, it actually is cheaper. Oh no, meat's not cheaper. Yes, it is cheaper if you get off the carbohydrates because you don't need as much food. Carolyn and I can eat about a pound of food together for a meal. Yesterday, she cooked up some sort of steak. It was a pound of food, 1 Ziploc bag. I got half, she got half. And I was pretty full. That is one piece of advice I would really suggest. Try to get off the carbs. I know it's difficult. I mean, I watch this female doctor and she talks about how your body is addicted to carbs. What are you gonna do if there is a bank run? Everybody takes money out of the banks or the bank shut down. Are you gonna have enough beans and rice to sustain you for very long? But you can get meat. Yesterday's video, there are local farmers all around here needing support. You know, everybody's saying, oh, there's an egg shortage. No, there's not an egg shortage. People are selling eggs left and right around here. Nobody wants to eat farm fresh eggs though. Gotta have USDA approved eggs. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is I got this comment the other day. He doesn't understand why Carolyn and I live so primitively when technology exists to make things better. So he was saying that we should have a wash machine and a dryer. We should be able to get enough solar panels and systems in place that we can have a wash machine and dryer. Well, I don't know where he was when he was watching the video, because in the video I said if Carolyn wanted a wash machine, she could have one. But I understand his question, even though he used the wrong appliance. With the washing machine, I just run the generator. I turn the generator on and she'd have a wash machine. The reason is because minimalistic lifestyle, and trust me, I know where I'm coming from on this. I had the fancy lifestyle, I had the fancy job, I had the new cars, and that was so much stress. It was unbearable. If you go to my channel, and I know that YouTube has messed it up now, so you can't find the oldest videos very easily. You got to scroll all the way down. But if you go to one of my very first videos, I was sitting in a pop-up camper before we even went on our test run. The thumbnail, I think it's a thumbnail. Maybe the video, I don't know. But my face is just, oh, I look terrible. You probably could mistake me for being dead in that picture. Death was coming, I'm sure of it. So I've traded all that stress and misery for a life of doing laundry by hand, coming down and getting the chicken. I see these YouTube videos all the time. Oh, you know, they're working constantly. I get comments down in the comment section. Oh, off-grid lifestyle is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I couldn't do it. Well, I don't know why. I don't do a lot. If you follow the advice that I have given, and I know there's going to be people out there, oh, you get terrible advice. Well, I'm living it, so I don't know how terrible it is. This is what we do. We live in a tiny house, so I don't use a lot of firewood or a lot of electric. It's just the two of us. We have chickens that can feed us, a little piece of property, and we got all our firewood to last us for at least 15 years, and I still can get some more. I think I need another 5 years to be comfortable with. And then you eat a carnivorous diet. If you follow these steps, your life can be exactly like mine. Relaxed, not hard. There's no reason to make your life complicated. If you're saying that off-grid life is too hard, then you're doing it wrong, obviously, because I just don't find it that hard. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, this is crazy. Carolyn sent me an article last night. The first complaint I have about the article is it makes absolutely no sense. It is from a news organization in California. And I have no idea what it said. The idea is there's this company that rents chickens for $575 for 6 months, I think is what it said. And it tells you what you get. You get a little coop. Now you're renting them. That means you got to give them back. So you get a little coop, some starter feed, the feeder, the waterer, and you get 2 hens. So $575 for 2 hens. Now they say you could get anywhere from, I think, 4 to 14 eggs from the 2 hens a week. So a dozen eggs. $5 a dozen, $9 a dozen, I don't know, at the store does not equal $575. Plus, you still have to get up in the morning and take care of the chickens. So I'm not sure how that was a good idea. But then you go down further in the article, and then it says, so the pricing is broke down by this. Zone 1 is $275, Zone 2 is $255, and Zone 3 is $225. Wait, what? You said up here $575. I gave the article back to Carolyn and said, I can't do this video. It makes no sense. But even if you do that, we look at that and they rent you all the stuff, and then they talk about incubators, and then they candling light and different things. So they're giving you a little bit extra with the cheaper price, but they still give you the coop. Now my guess is this coop is one of these little store-bought things like we have. We have one of these, and that's what we put our little baby chickens in when we're transferring them outside. And this thing was, I don't know, $200, $150, something like that. I would assume they want those back. If you're incubating eggs, you have chickens, and then they come and get your stuff that you're renting, where do you put the chickens that you just incubated? What I would suggest is get yourself something cheap to make a chicken run out of. I've seen trampolines used as chicken runs. Get yourself a little coop. You can make a little box like I did with metal for $100. Put some chicken wire around it, and for the same price, let's say $275 to $300, I think I got $300 invested in mine. And you can raise chickens. So if you click this up next box, take you a video that I made yesterday. So if I can inspire you to live free of fear, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.